Did you know that 78% of local mobile searches in the United States result in an offline purchase? This eye-opening tidbit, along with many others like it, comes from a study titled Trends Shaping Local Search in 2014. The study findings are based on a survey of nearly 3,000 U.S. adults who have done a local business search in the last 12 months as of December 2013. Give credit to digital marketing firms ComScore, 15 Miles, and Newstar for partnering together to publish the 7th annual report. As you may know, a key objective of search marketing is to be in front of a potential customer at the precise moment he or she wants something you happen to provide. For example, I'm hungry, I'm in a part of the city I'm not familiar with, and I'd like Chinese food. So what do? I go online and perform a search to find a solution. If you own a business that caters to this desire and your search marketing is up to snuff, there's a good chance you'll show up right away on my device, which is to say, offering the right product or service with the right information at the right time. This approach is consistent with the practice of being customer-centric, which means putting the customer at the center of the buying experience. Just as important is the recognition that doing it, and doing it well, can very much improve the vitality of your overall marketing effort. In part 1 of this 2-part video series, we're going to take a brief look at some of the key findings from the local search study. These include the behaviors, attitudes, and intentions of the online local business searchers. The idea is to get a clearer understanding of what's presently going on in this arena. In part 2, we'll explore the implications of those findings as it pertains to the overall marketing strategy for a local business. So let's dive in to part 1. By way of summarizing the survey results, 2 points in particular merit mention. First, the evidence indicates that offline spending is increasingly being impacted by online search, and that search engines like Google, Bing, and Yahoo are used more often than non-search engines such as the Internet Yellow Pages and local directory listings, though these last 2 do play a definite role. A second point is that the searches involve a mix of PC, mobile, and tablet devices. The good news is all 3 get a green light. The bad news is that overall satisfaction with the search experience has declined across all 3 since the year before, when the last survey was taken. The highest praise went to the PC, followed by the tablet, and then mobile. Except for convenient on-the-go information, PCs were preferred for local search because of greater usability and access to information. This leads to one last important point before moving on, and it is this: you're well advised to make your business information design device-specific. For example, a mobile phone site should be mobile-specific. That means clean and simple navigation, no crazy scrolling, and very basic information about your business. Anything more carries the risk of overwhelming the user, which translates into the customer dissatisfaction mentioned earlier. Use the PC and tablet for in-depth information and content, so potential customers can research your product or service in comparison to other brands and competitors. This is your opportunity to be truly customer-centric and convey a competitive advantage. With these summary points as a backdrop, let's review some actual results from the survey itself. This bar graph shows the primary information sought on local search by device. The PC is in dark blue, the mobile phone is in light blue, the tablet in orange. The horizontal axis across the bottom reveals the type of information expressly sought. Things like address or location, finding a business with the products or services needed, a phone number, research products or services, hours of operation, get driving directions, find coupons and special offers, read ratings and reviews. There are essentially two takeaways here. One is to regard this as a checklist of basic information you should provide online for the search engines to access and retrieve. The second is to stay informed about the ratings and reviews you are receiving online. If you get a bad review, respond as quickly as possible in a positive manner. Give them a reason to come back and change their mind. This way, you'll be sending a clear message to everyone who sees it that you're customer-centric. That kind of perception can persuade people to straightaway look for your address or location rather than search for another product or service provider. Moving on, here's another related graph with information expectations by search source. Dark blue is portal sites like Google, Bing, and Yahoo. Light blue is the Internet Yellow Pages, and orange is local search. The differences aren't great, but the portal sites do have a slight edge, especially as it pertains to finding business websites and promotional offers. Mostly, though, you can see why it's important to take all three into account. Here are 4 takeaways to consider. The first is a new piece of information we didn't see on the last graph. It's methods of payment accepted. Add that to your information checklist from earlier. And while you're at it, you might also want to put your social media sites on the information checklist as well. The second takeaway is to identify the specific search sources that are relevant to your business, and then develop a basic understanding of how they work. This will help with future planning. Third, periodically conduct a search of your business on all the relevant sources you've identified. Make sure the information that shows up is correct and up to date. Search is not perfect, and information can get mixed up. When this happens, it's the equivalent of handing out a business card with the wrong information on it. Fourth, periodically perform searches for each of your key competitors. Compare those results to your results. How do you fare when it comes to differentiating yourself for competitive advantage? Here's another interesting graph. It helps justify the effort you should put into local search marketing. This is location of purchase. The dark blue shows the purchases that were made in store. Notice how much they dominate the other two, which consist of call to make a purchase in light blue and purchase online in orange. The dark blue is 70% for PC, 73% for mobile phone, and 65% for tablet. Another related tidbit is time between research and purchase. Within a few hours is in dark blue, a day is light blue, followed by a few days and a week or more. As you can see, consumers often are ready to buy when they do a local online search. The next graph helps to explain why these numbers are so high. It's the category of local search. It shows that restaurants, shops, services, health and fitness, entertainment, and travel probably stand to gain the most from local search marketing. Can you see why customers are prone to make an immediate purchase from among these categories? But here's the kicker. ComScore reports, and I quote, "Nearly half of all service, restaurant, and travel searchers were looking for a business they have never made a purchase from before," unquote. This is interesting, inasmuch as we've yet to meet a local business owner who'd rather not attract more customers. To summarize then, local online search marketing is about the convergence of right product, right information, and right time. When they're ready, so are you. And that's the very definition of being customer-centric. In Part 2, we'll look at how search marketing fits within the overall marketing strategy for a local business. Come back for Part 2.